Welcome to Prepare to Win. We're going to give you drive time tips and secrets, really, maybe even reminders how to live and sell with excellence. I love today's episode. I love every episode, right? Because they're just filled with these principles that drive excellence into our life, right?
Absolutely.
So what we're going to talk about today are the secrets of successful product presentations. We're going to call it a vehicle walk around. We're going to show you how to showcase your product, and in this case, we're in the car business, to build value and desire and help you sell more for more money, make more money, and do it in a way buyers are happier, and of course, you have a healthy pride. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Prepare to Win. Again, if you've been following along with us, my name is Grace Lapoy. I am one of the training coaches with Automotive Sales Coach. And of course, with me, we have David Lowe, the Automotive Sales Coach, right?
Good to be with you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Of course. So today we're really unpacking what this looks like, a vehicle or product presentation, right? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, right. So whatever you're selling, it really doesn't matter. We're in the car business. So in the car business, they call it a vehicle walk around. But no matter what you sell, you have to demonstrate your product's features and benefits, don't you?
Right.
This is what our product does, and this is how our product works for you. So the whole goal here is to build value. This is a really good buy. This is a really good product, and desire. I really want this. And so the whole goal of a vehicle walk around is to build value and desire so people can see that their life will be better if they say yes to you today.
Right.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Right.
Now, the car business has called this a walk around for so long. I'll take you all the way back 30 some odd years, okay, 38 years ago, when I started selling cars. I was there not even a month, and they had a walk-around competition for Ford, right?
Okay.
And the winner of the store, the top three, got some money. The top person went to the area, then to the region or whatever, and then to the national championship. So it was kind of like a bracket, bracket challenge. And so I was brand new. I didn't know anything, but I studied, and I got second, believe it or not, in my third thing. And the whole idea was you have 10 minutes to present your product. Now, this is good and it's bad. It's so flawed because you can be great at memorizing a product and talking about what it is and the advantages of that product. But if you don't relate it to that buyer, then all you have is a presentation, right? So some time ago, we reworded this at Automotive Sales Coach on our dealership playbook. We don't even call it a walk around. We call it
The exploration.
exploration. Let's explore the product together and see if it's the right product for you and your family. Go ahead.
And I think that's what really sets us apart.
Yes.
Right? Is it's not just the fab, right?
Yeah.
Features, advantage, benefits. It's not just a presentation. What I want to do is create that bond.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? We talk about creating value and desire, and I can do that a little bit when I give the fab.
Yeah.
But what I really want to do is I want to make, like you said earlier, their life might suck, right? If they go home without this product.
Yeah.
And to do that, I have to say, hey, by the way, who's sitting in this car with you?
That's right.
Let me show you how we can make the seats fold down to fit all your equipment.
Yeah.
Right, for soccer or whatever.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that's where that comes in, is creating that bond that it makes it hard to break.
Fantastic. So Grace is just giving you a little insight to what does a great exploration look like.
Right.
And you just said, we're going to ask more good questions to understand that, to keep that bond and show how the car fits the lifestyle. So let's go backwards and talk about this exploration. We want to explore the car, but does it help if we know the buyer before we do it?
Yes, it definitely will.
So this walk-around competition that Ford had was great. It promoted product knowledge. Highly recommend that your dealership, if you're in a car dealership or your stereo store or whatever it is, takes regular time, maybe every Saturday morning, somebody does a walk around, explores a product so that you guys can keep sharp on your product, right? And we would say that the exploration is so much more than just a walk around. However, we actually use the 6-position walk around format to explore the car. It's a great organized way to present, this is how this vehicle is going to make your life better. So a great exploration. Let's talk about how to make it great. How do I build value and desire and use those to gain a today buying commitment. Isn't that what we're after?
Right.
We want an excited, loyal, lifetime customer. We want them, wow, I found the right car. Can I take it home today? And so that's our goal. So what are the keys to a great exploration? And it really starts before that, understanding our buyer. When we seek to understand not just what they want, but why they want it, who they are, we talked about that, we can go ahead and log that conversation. So when we're showing our product, we can work their life into that product, right? So we really think a great exploration begins with a conversation, doesn't it, about what they want, why they want, who they. We call it understand goals. You might call it an interview or whatever, but it's really seeking first to understand. So I want to seek first to understand you, Grace, and then I want you to understand me when I show you how my product is going to meet your goals, right, and help you make a better life. And can I tell you, I think it even begins before that with product certification. So products are complicated today. There's a lot of technology, there's a lot of stuff. And the manufacturers do a really good job at teaching you the product. I don't think they do a great job at teaching you to sell the product, but that's really not what they're good at. They're good at designing and building and creating the product. They do it well. And so it's natural that they would be the ones that teach you the product, the features, advantages, and benefits. So you want to get product certified. You want to stay up on your product. That's really where this begins. Because once I have that certificate, I have the confidence that no matter, Grace, what your goals are, I can tell you what you need to know. Not everything about the car, but what you need to know to make the decision. Boy, this is the right car for me.
My life's better with this feature.
That's it. This is really going to be great for me, not the general public, for me. So features, advantages, we say personal benefits come from that. So we are product certified, we know our knowledge. We have that, we have the product knowledge confidence, right? Then we have that time, it's 3, 4, 5 minutes really, discussion time to get a base level knowledge. We might even walk around your old car with you as we do that, right? And we might learn in the car business, that's how we learn about someone. When I bought a stereo, the guy came to my house and asked me questions. What kind of music do you listen to? How loud do you listen to? Right? That kind of thing. And so before he showed me the speakers that he wanted, that he thought were right for me, he asked me those questions. So it doesn't matter what you're selling. Doesn't it make sense to prepare for the exploration by learning about your customer and by being a product expert?
And Dave, that goes right back to last episode, right? Active listening. And I think those that are listening right now understand that we use these principles of success, and they're so interwoven into every step of this process.
Right.
No matter what I'm doing, that, you know what, my active listening skills don't just apply at one time.
That's right.
They apply in every area, and they'll always get me that information, right? Good questions, good listening gets me that good information to move forward.
Isn't that great? So we draw a line through the sales process. Active listening goes all the way through, right?
All the way through.
Some things start and stop. A test drive starts and stops. Active listening never starts and stops. It's always on. Building relationship and rapport, trust never ends, right? So we have things that we do, skill sets that we use throughout, and this is active listening is a big one, and we're going to find it come true during this vehicle exploration. So I'll tell you, just let me give you some tips on it. In order to help your buyer focus, let's talk about the car for a minute. Now, if you're in another industry, you would do your version of these same principles. In our industry, we have our cars all lined up, and you can't really actively explore a car that's in a row. So we might say, hey, let the buyer feel comfortable looking at your car by pulling it out in an area free from distraction, not a high traffic area where you're going to get interrupted. Pull it in a spot where you can open the doors and you can explore the car together without them worried about them or their kids getting hit, without them worrying about doors hitting other cars. So really kind of pulling that out is a big thing, right?
I'd agree.
And how about setting the stage for it? Like creating confidence. Grace, I want to show you some really cool things and how I believe that this Grand Cherokee is real fit. Everything you told me so far, I think you chose the right car. Let me show you how the features on this car are really going to work for you and your family.
I love it.
So you might want to start with that. You might say, I'm going to show you some of the new technology that they put in that's really, you're going to enjoy and based on what you told me. So there's a lot of ways you can tell them what you're about to tell them. Here's what we're about to do.
And that, based on what you told me, shows me as a consultant, I listened to you.
That's right.
Right? I took what you said into consideration. I didn't just take notes and throw them away.
That's right.
I took those notes, and from what you told me, here's how this will make your life better.
Isn't that what a consultant is? Consultant listens to you, understands you, and then helps advise by showing you some choices, right? Doesn't tell you what to do, but certainly tell. So we're gonna show them how this car would fit their goals, right? Based on their goals. So you might also work in a statement like, let's quick look at this vehicle together. I'd like to show you. I might throw in words like quick. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Okay, so what does it mean to master? I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna show this vehicle in a way that gets them involved in picturing their lifestyle. So I may need to ask questions as I go. True or false?
So true.
So I don't learn everything in those 3 or 4 or 5 minutes when we have this, what are you looking for and why and how does it fit your life? I don't learn everything. So you just said, when you open a door, you ask a question. A question about what? Their life. So can I continue seeking to understand the buyer during the exploration? That's a big part of it. I think a lot of salespeople are like, okay, shut up while I tell you about the car. And what we want to do is get the buyer actively engaged with the car. Now, can I tell you where I really started this? I think it was Circuit City. Now, Circuit City is gone. Circuit City is an example of a great company that focused on training heavily. I had friends, I grew up while they were growing up, that started them on the sales floor and moved up. They were boom on the train. Of course, probably as the company grew, they put less priority on training. Where are they now? Anyway, it's gone. So Circuit City and Best Buy, they came up with this thing where people would actually come in the store and actually play the video games that they're thinking about buying. That interaction. And it really got me thinking that instead of presenting the product or having it sitting on the shelf, why not get them to touch it and feel it? So when we talk about a great vehicle walk around or exploration, we're really talking about personal benefits, and we're talking about engaging in all the senses, getting them in and out of the car, touching and feeling, talking about that, right? Does that make sense? So we want them engaged, actively hopping in the seat. How are my kids going to fit back? That kind of thing. Does that make sense? So we have get prepared with your product certification. You got to have that. Understand your buyer. It really will help you present the benefits. Think of this, pull it out so it's in a spot that gives them the freedom to look without fear. Make sure you set the stage. This is going to be great. It's not going to take forever. I just want to show you some things about show you how this car, great choice and how it's going to make your life better. And then, of course, as I do it and I use the 6th position, normally start the hood and go around the car, I'm going to go ahead and continue to ask questions. And I'm going to relate what I know about this car to what I know about you and how it make your life better.
Exactly. And one thing that I want to touch on is when we ask those good questions, we talk about asking big questions. Right? Not low level, like, oh, do you have a dog? Oh, do you have kids? Because that invites a yes or no.
Yes.
I want to ask those open-ended questions where they have to answer. Hey, who's sitting out here, Dave?
Right.
Right? What's going in here?
Yes.
Right? If I don't know something, I want to ask that big, high-level question that, again, invites that conversation and that back and forth that allows me to continue to engage them in the car or in that product.
Isn't that awesome? And if you would allow me, in this episode, I want to take a step back to the last episode. You've alluded to, right, the active listening. So if you said to me, or I said to you, so who's going to be sitting in the back seat? And you say, well, it's my dog.
Right.
I might affirm you. Your dog. Awesome. What kind of dog do you have?
There we go.
Active listening as we explore. The buyer feels even more understood, even more valued, and we have a better insight to how they're going to use the car. It just carries on throughout.
And isn't that what it's all about? Make the buyer feel valued, feel important, and when they do that, that really helps us set the stage for, again, that relationship where I feel, man, this person understands me, and they really want me to find the right car or the right product. That makes my life.
That is it. And no matter what you're selling, your job is to make it simple for your buyer to feel comfortable saying yes.
Right.
And the best way to make it simple is answer those buying questions, right? What should I buy? Where should I buy it? When should I buy? How much should I pay? And the what should I buy is really handled here, right? But it does interlock with every other step. It's funny how the vehicle exploration is not an independent step. It really is made stronger with the steps before, isn't it? And so as we go throughout our journey on living and selling with excellence, we're going to bring you these principles, drive-time principles for living and selling with excellence, tips that you can do it. They're not just principles, but we're going to bring up-to-date modern techniques and technology.
Right.
All these things, you're going to see how interwoven they are, right? That one thing supports another. In other words, anything that I shortcut destroys another. If I shortcut my understand goals, I have hurt my exploration. If I shortcut my exploration, I've probably hurt my trial close and my close. Does that make sense? So the better we are at executing these things, the more support the other things we execute do. So the more we complete with excellence, the better chance we have of having a customer say, yeah, I'd like to drive that home today. More chance we have them saying yes to your first principle, maximizing your profit. More chance they're going to leave really excited about what they did. And of course, you're going to have a healthy pride. That's the whole point. We went all the way back to episode 1 that said joy, peace, and satisfaction is really found in people in pursuit of their best self. So I don't care what you're selling, and maybe you're not selling anything, and you're just thinking about building value and desire in anything, right? It's really about having a healthy pride that who you are, it matters, and it's rippling into other people's lives and your benefit. It's kind of cool, right? Okay, so on this, let's just kind of wrap up this just kind of physical walk around as we're going around the car. We're exploring it together and we're touching it. People are getting in and out of it. Inevitably, people are going to ask questions. Fantastic, right? And so when we get asked questions, that's a great time to explore more. Right? So, say, how much room is in the back here, right? What are they saying? They're not asking, 15.2 cubic feet. What they're asking is, will my crap fit in here?
Right.
So why don't you find out what is the crap you're carrying? What do you carry, right? So we can say, hey, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked about the space back here. Actually, it has the most cargo room of any SUV in its class. I don't know what that means, but it's big. Let me ask you this. What are you going to put back here? And let's make sure it fits.
There we go.
True story. I was selling cars and early in my career in New Jersey on the way to New York. It was a guy who went to Juilliard, had his instrument in his car, and his question was, will my cello fit? Right? He didn't want to buy a car that day. He just wanted to look. I said, well, there's no use coming back if your cello doesn't fit. Let's get your cello and make sure it fits. Never came out of that car. He drove his new Accord home with that cello in it. But it's really about showing how important it is that I want to make sure you have the right car. I'm not going to sell you a car that doesn't fit your cello because that's what you do every day. You're driving to Juilliard and back. So I think that when we talk about successful vehicle walkarounds, it's more than just product knowledge. It's a lot of things. Our product knowledge turns into confidence. Our understanding goals turns into information we could use to show them how the car works. Being courteous and pulling the car out when we have some space shows really respect for them and to make it comfortable for them. Setting the stage with a good intro is so important, right? Here's what we're going to do and why. That really sets in their mind. Taking time to walk around and talking about the features, how they fit their life, and getting them engaged. Asking a good question so you have more information. And, of course, answering their questions in a way that makes you feel comfortable moving on. I think these all work together. And I would say sometimes you might hear objections. I don't know if I like the color. I don't like this color interior, right? That's a different episode, and we're going to talk. It's called a product objection. We're going to teach about that. If they come up during your vehicle presentation, you need to either overcome them. If they're an objection, that's a hurdle you can jump. If it's a wall, it's called a condition, and you're going to have to switch products. How do you know the difference? Well, stay tuned to some of our future episodes. We're going to show you exactly how this is what this podcast is dedicated to. We want to talk about the things in between the lines. Our dealership playbook has so much training material, and we want to make that come to life during this podcast, don't we?
Absolutely.
Everybody who's listening, we really have an interest in helping you achieve your full God-given potential. Not just make money, but really become more. As you become more, you're a benefit to more people. And as you're a benefit to more people, of course, you will rise as well. So that's awesome. Is there any last words about the exploration you can do?
I don't think so.
Okay, how about this one? don't skip it.
Right.
Do it.
Right. Let's do it.
Yeah,
all
we
the
see
time.
salesmen all the time getting the keys and leaving on a test drive, and I think, oh, you missed your opportunity, right?
Right.
So when the buyer leaves and says the price was too high, the payment was too high, the trade was too low, often we can go back and say, no, it was the value that wasn't there.
Right.
And the value may not have been there because one of the steps were skipped or really short called.
Yeah.
One of the most important steps, the exploration or the vehicle walk around, you need value and desire. Value, this is a really good value. Desire, I really want this in order to live and sell with excellence.
So that really wraps up today's episode, right?
Yep.
Talking about the exploration, how that really helps us create that value and that desire. Again, thank you guys for joining us today. Really appreciate that. Again, our goal is to help you guys live and sell with excellence. So if we are a benefit to you, please like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, even let us know some ideas you have. What would you like to learn about? We'd love to hear from you very much. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being with us. And listen, we want to continue to deliver content that will help you sell and live with excellence. Next episode is going to be great. The psychology of buyer commitment, understanding the psychology behind your buyer commitment. And we want you to learn how to use that, to leverage that to help reach a win-win close, right? Commitment is critical to closing, and we're going to teach you, listen, we're going to teach you how to comfortably and powerfully help your buyer feel comfortable saying what? Yes, can I drive that home today? All right? Good selling.